And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
All right, good afternoon and welcome to the recap for Wednesday, December the 14th. My name's John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. The FOMC meeting is over. The expected outcome is exactly as expected. I've looked through some of the Fed chair's presser and some of the things that he said. It seems like he is really not all that happy. I think they're a little bit hawkish still. It seems as though they're still not happy with things, with the way things are going, and of course they're not. So the S&P is closed down 21 points. I think that's a pretty good close, 0.5%. This is all unofficially, of course. NASDAQ down 85 points, 0.7%, and the Dow down 143 points, 0.4%. Got Lacey here, looking to get pet. Markets apparently are pricing in a lower percentage chance of a 25 basis point increase in February. I think yesterday they said it was 75%. Now it's 49%. So I think everybody's pretty much in agreement that the U.S. Fed is going to remain relatively aggressive in their moves. Just taking a look at some of the things that Chairman Powell said. So we are not thinking about changing our inflation goal, of course. I don't see us considering rate cuts until we are confident that inflation is declining in a sustained manner. Our focus is on shifting our policy stance to become more restrictive, not on rate cuts. There's your hawkish note there. Inflation will fall due to the goods sector and, by the middle of next year, housing services. We would have expected faster progress on inflation by now. So there's another thing that says, maybe we're not doing enough. Having moved so quickly, we think appropriate thing to do is to move to slower pace of rate hikes, which will allow us to better balance risks. A little opposite there. Rate futures in the U.S. now predict a 70% chance of a 75 basis point increase at the next meeting. So things looking like we may pick up the pace a little bit as far as rate hikes are concerned. Did you see the EIA petroleum status report today? They were looking for a 3-point-something million barrel draw. It came out 10.231 million barrel increase in inventories, and price ended up going the opposite direction. You never know with these markets. So by the end of the day, it was up $1.89, 2.5%, closing at 77.28. We've got a lot more numbers coming out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be probably the busiest day of economic numbers, if maybe not the biggest economic number this week, but still, we have jobless claims as usual on Thursdays. Philly Fed tomorrow, retail sales tomorrow, Empire State Manufacturing Index, a little lower impact, industrial production, business inventories, and then at 9:30 to wrap all that up, the natural gas inventories report Friday, PMI composite flash, quadruple witching on Friday. So lots of options expiring, putting people into positions in futures we'll have to see how that continues to play out. Sometimes quadruple witching is busy. There's a busy period in it. Sometimes it's a big nothing burger. We'll have to wait and see on Friday. As always, make sure you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love. We're always welcome here on the recap. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get notified when we do go live. And we had group coaching today. We also had Make Hogue Money. That's going to be it for both of those events for the rest of the year. Next week and the following week, we will not be having Make Hogue Money or group coaching. We'll start again in the same kind of fashion at the beginning of the year in January. I will, however, be doing the forecast tomorrow, and the forecast next week through Thursday will be off on Friday. We'll also be doing the recap next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we'll still get the chance to spend a little time together before the holidays. I always appreciate the opportunity to spend a little time with you guys. And we'll take a look here at the charts here in just a few minutes, and then we'll be off on our way for the rest of the day. We appreciated the visit yesterday from Anne Marie Band for the special Make Hogue Money that was at 9:30 yesterday. I had a few folks wondering what happened to Make Hogue Money yesterday, and we're trying to find a way to better communicate when these things come up, and that we're not going to have the standard Make Hogue Money at 8:20 on those days when we do have a special guest, and we're going to do it a little bit later. So my apologies if you were looking for us. You can see the session yesterday with Anne Marie Band on our YouTube channel. And Spencer, yeah, you did it again, huh? I trade every FOMC. You say you're not going to trade, and you end up trading. You always do it. Well, we had 3 consecutive losing trades in Make Hogue Money today. And it is really the outcome I was halfway expecting today. It's very difficult to manage and trade these markets when they get a little bit crazy like that. Not to mention that it's also rollover. Crazy. I took one trade today. It was a nice little winner, and I was happy to get it, and I didn't do anything the rest of the day. Just watch the fireworks, except, of course, Make Hogue Money. So we did have 3 losses, but, the losses are totally manageable. Not worried about that. It's more about taking the opportunity to do some things together, some trading together. So, we had 3 losses. That's my rule. 3 strikes and I'm out. We were out. So we shortened up the session just a little bit, thinking we weren't going to be doing anything. So we are on time today with the market recap. Again, if there's something that you'd like to see on the recap or the forecast, please tell me. I'm looking for feedback and constructive criticism. You can send that to jhoagland@topstep.com, JHOAGLAND @topstep.com. And I look forward to hearing your ideas and thoughts about improvement, even if it's about Make Hogue Money, group coaching, anything you would like to suggest to me, please do so. And if you do like what you see, hit the like button. If you don't, tell me. I look forward to hearing from any and all of you. Yes, JT, it was interesting that she used options as a directional odds enhancer. We got a few folks that have been coming to Make Hogue Money. We've got Joe D, and Anne Marie that have been kind of teaching us a little bit about when there's an accumulation of options at certain strike prices. It might tell us a little bit about what the futures are going to do, especially if they get to those areas. Richard, it's good to see everybody. First, the Rooster, good afternoon. Hegel Matters, Anissa, Bill Phillips, Nastic, George. Lacey is in her bed right now. She was a bad girl today. Josh, yeah, a big surprise EIA, right? JT, Spencer, and Richard made sure to focus on one thing to identify in the market today, and that was double bottoms and double tops on the 5-minute. Helped me not overtrade, just focusing on that, and paid well in the practice account. Nice. I'm glad you had a good day. Learned something, right? You tried something and it worked. Nice job. Mike, what a day, right? What a day. All right, so let's go ahead and jump through these charts and take a look at what happened today. Here's crude oil. Crude oil is probably going to roll tomorrow. Let me take a quick look here at the volume. January, 264,000. Feb, 167. We'll take a look at what that looks like tomorrow morning and see if we're going to make that change tomorrow or on Friday. So 70 is the floor for now. Even with an increase in inventory in the U.S., the market pushed back to the upside. We're still in longer time frame downside structure, but we may be at risk of changing that. Number one, we closed above weekly kickoff high. We continued to move to the upside, even with fundamental information to the opposite. We going to be very difficult to decipher what happens in open interest tomorrow because it's so close to switch day and we are in rollover. Here's the 30-minute chart. All right, so before the EIA came out, the market was already pushing higher. It had rejected range from yesterday. It was holding up here. I looked at this profile and said, I think this market's gonna head higher. The point of control was high in the range. We had more excess at the low than we did at the high. Now this was the big push to the downside as the EIA came out. But it just something in the profile was telling me these are not strong highs up here. We had more excess on the low, just waiting for this. We have a weak high now. We have a poor high, looking like this market is ready to continue this move to the upside. Remember, we're always thinking about what direction is the market attempting to go and how good of a job is it doing getting there. Well, if we look at this, I mean, we have overlapping range, but outright higher value. And a poor high, and excess at the low, and excess here. A little bit of excess here. E-mini S&Ps, the daily. Also in rollover. Big excess shadow on this bar yesterday on this daily chart. Looks kind of ominous. I would have to say that after the information today and the 50 basis points was expected, that should have been in the market. It was the discussion afterwards that I think threw more of a chill on the upside in this market, but I think it actually performed relatively well. I think it took that news again relatively well. Holding higher, the news comes out, the Fed chair starts talking, pushes us lower. It has me thinking about what didn't happen today. Well, what didn't happen is we got pretty close to this naked point of control here from the 12th, but we didn't get to it. Usually when traders are looking at something, they bring price to it. We couldn't do that. We have some pretty decent XS on this low as well. Here's the TPO chart. So here's our excess. Pretty good excess on that low. Smaller on top. We did have a double distribution day that we did take out the single TPOs. If you remember this morning, we were thinking, if we are going to open in this hole here, we may fall into repair. Well, we opened and drove into the hole. The market basically looked higher until it traded almost to an assumed point of control, TPO point of control, right up here. So we actually finished the repair before the FOMC meeting came out. Interesting. NASDAQ, similar but different. Okay, relatively decent close for the volatility that we saw today. Hang on. Okay, a little bit of repair. We never got to this point, this kind of assumed volume point of control up here. Didn't quite get there. We get the push to the downside. Again, we fall short of reaching this naked point of control down here. I didn't put the extension on there. I'm going to do that right now. So that remains out there as a visual target for at some point in the future. We need to look at the TPO chart there. Hang on. So again, some repair here, not quite finished. A lot of excess on the low here. Price got too cheap and was swiftly rejected. Too cheap, swiftly rejected. Excess, smaller excess. Point of control near the high. Gold. Still range bound. Still in short time frame control. Adding 13,000 in new contracts to the upside yesterday, new longs. And I don't think we scared many of them out today. Take a look at the 30. Overnight inventory to the short side. Where did we open? 5 o'clock last night. Right here. Where did we trade back to? Right about there. And then some. Then the numbers came out. I mean, look at the volume during the regular trading hours. 1 o'clock comes and there comes the volume. Got a big jump in the dollar, and then the dollar took it all back. So upside continuation in the euro. I don't see any reason to short this market. Oh, I didn't put the profile on here today, apparently. I don't see any reason to sell this market until it's time to sell it. We weren't able to quite get to that naked point of control up there. Let's see, look at this daily again. You know, we get lots of space, I think, before we find some real resistance in the weekly kickoff high here at 107.50. And for the 10-year, still range-bound, short time frame controlled. Just a knee-jerk reaction today and a return right back to pretty much where it started. We didn't even have to do this today. Natural gas took it down the chin today. Couldn't hold that weekly kickoff high. Came down to close this gap. Here's the 30. So overnight inventory really kind of got eaten up by some consolidation here before the move to the downside continued. Oh, I just feel like it's been a long week already. I'm tired. And I didn't even do much today as far as trading is concerned. I was really pretty quiet. Johnny Wolkowiak, it's good to see you. I have something for you. Where is he? There he is. JMW, John Wolkowiak. He didn't want to buy 5. Look at that handsome devil. It's good to see you, John. Happy holidays to you. Hope you are well also. Another old trading floor buddy. Found that on the internet there for you, John. Whenever I have old trading floor friends visit me here, I like to get a picture of them and put it up there. So on this day in history, in 1911, a Norwegian Roald Amundsen, first person to reach the South Pole. Huh? Today's the day George Washington died in 1799. Saturday Night Fever premiered in LA today in 1977. As far as music is concerned, it's Charlie Rich's birthday. I don't know if you remember Charlie Rich. Most of you probably don't. But I'll never forget his The Most Beautiful Girl song. Trying to find some that we may know here. Vanessa Hudgens, 1988. I was already old by that time. 1971, Led Zeppelin 4 was in the top 10 of the U.S. album charts. In 2006, the album was rated the number 1 on Classic Rock Magazine's 100 Greatest British Albums. Led Zeppelin 4. Eh. Mm-hmm. Yep, Naztec. Are you Norwegian, I'm thinking? We were always told by my dad that we were a lot Norwegian. It turns out it wasn't true. Dad liked to tell fairy tales. But even if I was Norwegian, no way in heck you'd find me at the South Pole. Yes, sir. Well, there you go. First person in the world. Your grandmother's mom lived there. See, I was always told that I was part Norwegian, but again, fairy tale. Dad was into fairy tales. Jeff, on day 2 in the combine with 2 green days. Very nice. Good job. Anissa? Yeah, that is next level, right? Shankopotamus? Huh, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, me too, Daniel. Welsh, mostly Welsh. I have a sister-in-law that is really into like the whole ancestry thing. She's got us dug up all the way back to like the 1100s, I think. She's very into it. Old trade commercial name. Old E-Trade commercial name. Shankopotamus. I like it. All right. I'm going to go, guys. Tomorrow is Thursday. We've got the forecast, and we will have, from what I understand, the podcast tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So looking forward to that. Again, no more group coachings for the rest of the year or make Hogue Monies for the rest of the year. And I will look forward to seeing you this week and next week through Thursday for the market forecast and the recap through Wednesday. And then it'll see you next year. So get some rest tonight. We got a lot more business to do tomorrow with the economic numbers due out. Of course, I won't be holding any positions. I may respond to something as the day goes on, but I will look for opportunities away from periods of extreme volatility. That's just me. Have a good night. Be kind to yourself. Do something good for yourself. We deserve it. We work hard at this. While you're at it, do something nice for somebody else. Say a prayer for peace. And see you tomorrow morning on the forecast, 7:45. Same bat time, same bat channel. Blessings to you all. Have a good night.